everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're stepping into a chilling tale that's been lost in the icy depths of Russia's wilderness. For decades, you've likely heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident, 9 hikers, a frozen mountain, and a mystery so wild it sparked theories about aliens and Yetis. But what if I told you there's another Russian mountain enigma, just as eerie, just as unsolved, and barely whispered about? This is the Chum Enigma, the story of a group of geologists, a lonely camp, and a night that ended in fire, fear, and total silence. Grab a cozy blanket, dim the lights, and let's peel back the layers of this forgotten mystery together. Oh, and if you're up for the ride, smash that like button and subscribe. Imagine it's 1978, right in the heart of the Soviet Union. The Cold War is raging, and Russia's vast, snow-covered lands are full of hidden stories, some tied to secret bases, others to science, and a few that defy explanation. Way up in the Chum region, a remote corner of northern Russia, a small team of geologists is hard at work. These aren't weekend campers, they're skilled experts, toughened by years in the field, armed with top-notch Soviet gear. Their job is straightforward: study the rocks, chart the terrain, and survive the biting cold. But in this tale, straightforward turns into anything but. Their camp sits in a place so isolated it feels like the world's edge. No roads lead here. No villages dot the horizon. Just endless snow, rugged cliffs, and a sky so dark it swallows the stars. The wind rips through their tents like a restless spirit, sharp and relentless. It's the kind of spot where you can't shake the feeling that something's watching, even if you're sure you're alone. Or maybe you're not. Fast forward to the night, it all unravels. It's late past midnight, probably, and the geologists are tucked into their tents, worn out from a day of drilling and hiking. The cold is brutal, the kind that turns your breath to ice before it leaves your mouth. Then, out of nowhere, something hits. We don't know what. No one does. But it's sudden, fierce, and horrifying. Picture yourself there. You're jolted awake by a deep, rumbling hum vibrating up through the ground. It's not the wind or a bear. It's something strange, unnatural. Your pulse races as you fumble out of your sleeping bag. That's when you see it. Light. Not from a lantern or a flashlight, but bright. Jagged beams slicing through the blackness. They're pouring down from the sky, flickering and shifting, like spotlights from above. Then everything explodes into chaos. From the little we piece together, the camp becomes a frenzy. Shouts pierce the night air. Someone yells about fire, but there's no campfire roaring, no stove tipped over. The tents stand untouched, but the people inside? Days later, when rescuers finally reached the site, they walked into a scene that could haunt anyone's dreams. The camp lies silent, lifeless, with only the wind breaking the stillness. The tents are still up, but something feels wrong. As the rescuers creep closer, they spot the bodies. Brace yourself. This part's grim. Every single geologist is dead, and not from the cold or hunger. They're burned, some so badly they're barely recognizable. Skin is melted. Clothes are fused to their flesh, as if they'd been swallowed by a raging blaze. But here's the twist. There's no sign of fire anywhere else. The snow around them is pristine, no scorch marks, no melted patches, no ashes. How does a fire torch people but leave the ground untouched? It gets stranger. Some of the bodies are twisted into impossible shapes, arms bent unnaturally, faces locked in looks of raw terror. One rescuer later said it seemed like they were clawing at something unseen, desperate to escape. Then there's the sound, people miles away, too far to hear normal camping noise, reported a low, eerie hum that night, a sound that shook their homes and set their dogs howling. And in the sky, strange lights zipped back and forth, vanishing as fast as they came. You'd expect the Soviet government to jump on this, right? A full investigation. Experts swarming the site. Nope. Instead, the story veers into cover-up territory. The official report was laughably short. accidental deaths, natural causes. That's all they gave. No autopsies were shared. No real details emerged. The bodies were buried quick. The area sealed off, and the whole thing buried deeper than the snow. It was over before it began. But whispers slipped out. Rescuers spoke in hushed tones about what they'd seen. Locals insisted those sky lights weren't planes or weather tricks. Soviet tech couldn't pull that off. Not out there. The geologists' families begged for answers and got nothing but cold silence from a government allergic to questions. If this sounds familiar, it's because it echoes the Diet Law Pass cover-up, vague excuses, locked records, and a big keep walking sign. So what really went down? This is where the Chum enigma gets wild. And I've got some theories to chew on. Some sensible, some out there, all gripping. Maybe it was ball lightning, a freaky natural event where electric orbs form and burst with deadly power. It could account for the burns, the lights, even that humming. But ball lightning doesn't usually spare the ground while frying people, and those twisted poses? That's a tough fit. It's the safest guess, but it's shaky. Or picture this. It's the 70s. Cold War tension is sky high. What if the geologists wandered into a secret Soviet test zone? A new weapon like a laser or a chemical bomb could explain the burns and lights. And the hush-up fits the USSR's playbook. They loved their secrets and wouldn't blink at burying a blunder. But where's the residue? The radiation. It's a solid theory with a few cracks. Now, let's push the boundaries. UFOs. Yeah, I said it, aliens. The lights, the hum, the impossible burns, locals swore it felt unearthly. Maybe the geologists saw something they shouldn't have, and whatever it was didn't leave survivors. Crazy? Sure, but Russia's got a track record of odd sky sightings, and Chum's isolation makes it a prime spot for. Visitors don't scoff. This one's got traction. Or maybe it's older than tech, darker than science. Local legends whisper of mountain spirits, beings that guard these peaks and punish intruders. The burns, the fear, the lack of clues. Could it be something beyond our understanding? It's murky and spooky, but it vibes with the wild, haunted feeling of Russia's backcountry. What keeps me tossing at night is this. Why burns with no fire? What were those lights? Why the Soviet blackout? We've got scraps, rescuer tales, village rumors, that creepy hum, but no clear answer. The Chum enigma is a jigsaw with half the pieces missing. And just when you think you've cracked it, another detail trips you up. Unlike Diet Lab Pass, with its photos and journals dissected for years, Chum is a phantom, barely recorded, hardly remembered. That's what makes it so magnetic. It's rough, untouched, a raw mystery begging for someone bold enough to dig in. So, what's your take on that night in Chum? A natural fluke, a government slip, or something straight out of sci-fi? Drop your ideas in the comments. I'm itching to read them. If you're hooked on mysteries like this, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Next week, we're cracking open another lost tale. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out. You awesome crew. Stay curious, keep it spooky, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.